Hey Leo, good to see ya. We are going to do a little dip into your energy and get you a read to help you clarify what is coming in for you during this lunar cycle that's going to be culminating with that blue moon in Sagittarius. It's going to close out this month. We're just tapping into the energy a little bit, seeing what's being set in motion right now, and what are you needing to know at this time? What is culminating in your life? And these are going to be more condensed reads. We're not going to do a major deep dive. It's just kind of touching into the energy. But we are going to look at both shadow aspects and transformed aspects and see how this comes through for you. So far the reads have been pretty interesting, so I think this is quite a dynamic lunar cycle that we're moving through. There's a lot of interesting elements in play, and so I don't anticipate it will be the least bit boring or dull. There's obviously a lot of gears in motion at this time, and it's lining up a shift in the road. So let's see what's coming in for you, Leo. Bottom of the deck, I like this. We have a King of Cups energy. Okay, so somebody's feeling the love here. Water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Somebody's feeling the love. You may be a Cancer, Leo cusper. Okay, somebody is really feeling the love in relation to you. Okay, looks like you have somebody who's focused on you. They don't have to be a water sign, but their heart is forward here. Okay, somebody has a lot of emotions when it comes to you. They may have experienced some kind of shift too, like something's transformed in their heart space. Okay, all right, bottom of the deck. Look at that. Queen of Cups. So, I mean, we got a pair here. You might be keeping more of your feelings to yourself just because the Queen of Cups here, you know, she keeps it a little contained. You might want to be certain that somebody really has gone through a transformation. There's a lot of paired energy here. I feel like you both were injured in a situation. There could be a Gemini connected to this dynamic here. I also feel like there's some key communication coming in. Somebody wants to move your connection out of a holding pattern. I think that you remember what went down before. I think this is a situation where you felt injured. I think that the other feels like they were injured too. And maybe there's a way to transform this situation. At least that's what this King of Cups wants to see. Wants to see if it's possible to transform this situation. Maybe wants to heal, you know. Maybe is ready to own their peace. Something went down pretty brutal. I see that, okay? There was a real painful ending in this dynamic. Whew. Whatever happened, it was an injustice. Big time. Big time. And with the 11, with the 10, that's 21. I mean, something came to a close. It was like the world turned. And it was a pretty harsh ending. I really feel that. With the world, there could have been a Capricorn involved. There could have been Taurus, Aquarius connected. Leo, you're in that mix. Fixed sign energy. Libra energy. Okay, something was really an injustice though. There was a brutal ending in this situation. A lot of illusion, a lot of confusion. Somebody was really abusing their power too, with the Ace of Wands coming out in the shadow. This may be something that goes back to the fall, last fall. There could have been some spiritual work thrown around in this situation. I mean, I have to call it out with the Ace of Wands coming out in the shadow. And here you got the Magician raising a wand. This could have even been a little bit of a spiritual battle here. You may have faced off with an imposing force, you know. You learned a lot. There's something that's been transformed in this situation, though. I feel like you overcame any kind of manipulation that could have been involved in this situation. It looks like there was a lot of confusion that was created. Okay, very disorienting kind of experience, very brutal. Whatever happened here was an injustice. And the actions that were taken were extremely immature. Somebody was not acting out of their higher consciousness. They were acting very childish. Maybe didn't even know what they were doing, you know, really. We're just being very reactive. They thought they had it all figured out. The way to transform the world, the way they thought things should go. And it just made some kind of colossal mess here. But I see there's been some strategy that's been put in play. You might have needed to be quite daring in this situation. You might have needed to trust your own power. You might have needed to trust your own magic to be able to just stay in your power in a situation. I feel like you've grown through this process too. This could also be like a little reflecting point as well on the past. You know, there may have been times in the past where you weren't used to holding your power with the kind of adeptness that you have now. I feel like you've grown in that regard as well. This could have been an experience that taught you some really valuable lessons, but it looks like lessons that were hard earned, but they're bringing some kind of growth through for you. I feel like your alchemical abilities have been heightened for sure. I also feel like there may be some kind of reward coming through for you as well because of the way you navigated a situation. You may have dealt with some kind of severe injury. It caused loss. It may have even separated you from another. But I feel like now you have self-knowledge. Now you use your power in a different way. And you've experienced a lot of growth. And there's some sense of two really being in the same position. Like two of you have been transformed by this. Something was in a holding pattern for a long time, but I feel like there's communication coming in here. Looks like you're sorting through a very confusing situation where there was kind of a jockeying for a position. People were behaving immaturely. There's something that happened here that was really an injustice. I feel that. Like it was an injustice. And yet it looks like through the process, there's been a lot of growth. And now there's an understanding about the uses of power and what it means to really be in your power and to hold your power wisely. So this could be transforming a key relationship. We have strong Gemini energy here. Okay, really strong Gemini energy coming through in this situation. Your energy coming in too, especially if you're a Cancer, Leo cusper, really strong coming through there as well. There could be a mother connected to this situation. A child could be at the center of things as well. There could have been a power struggle related to a child. There could have been some legal battle too, something that got really messy, really messy. This could have even been some manipulation too, to cast a parent in a bad light. That was an injustice. Okay, I feel like something is being transformed in a situation. I'm getting kind of some multiple storylines here, but there's some kind of renewal energy that's coming in here. Also, if you were dealing with financial hardship, I feel like there's some kind of up-leveling in your finances coming through. In some cases, if you were dealing with legal battles, this could be the result of a settlement in your favor. All right. If there is a child in the mix and there was child support that was withheld, this could be finally getting that coming through. There also could be some kind of mediation involved in a situation that's moving it out of gridlock and turning this situation around. But I do see transformation here, growth. There's productive communication coming in, okay? Some of you are getting into some kind of metaphysical line of work. I do feel that if you invest the energy in this direction, it will provide some kind of financial sustenance for you. I do see growth in a business that maybe is informed by your spirituality on some level. You could be a reader, okay? Or you could be doing some other kind of spiritual work, spiritual counseling work, or maybe you're creating some kind of workshop based on your own personal experiences and what you've learned along the way. Because I do see a lot of growth here too. I think there's somebody that you're healing with here too, though. There's like a key relationship involved in this. Okay, let me get some more details about this. A little bit of a mixed bag for you, but it does look like you're negotiating terms of something here, moving out of a difficult situation. I feel like somebody wants to renew your connection, you know. I think this connection went through hardships. These hardships could have been the result of outside interference. And I also think that, you know, something went down in the connection that was really foul. It was an injustice. And I do feel like there's navigating some tricky territory, but it looks like there's been transformation on both sides. Yeah, went real cold in this situation for a while. I mean, you may have just really cut something off cold and said, no, I'm not dealing with this. There really could have been spiritual work in a situation. I mean, I got the indications or some kind of manipulation. There's a lot of cloaked energy here. Pisces energy coming in with the moon in the shadow. There was a blind spot here. There could have even been somebody in the mix that you really trusted that was actually at odds with you, sabotaging you in some way. I think you recognize this though, and you overcame this situation. You knew that you had to protect yourself, protect your interests. They may have tried to come after your security in some way, cause some kind of disruption in your home, in a key relationship, tried to affect your finances. Like this looks like trying to create some kind of instability. But I mean, clearly you transformed something here. You held your ground. Maybe you did some protective work. You put down some energetic boundaries as well. I think you also put down practical boundaries in relation to this individual. You said, no, we're not dealing with this action anymore. Something got really heated. And I think there were two that were injured in this situation. It could have even been a key relationship was injured in the process. I think two were injured, right? Two got held up, you know? Two were stuck in the crossroads in this situation, maybe until they were able to sort through their own stuff, you know? This could have just been like a connection that some kind of manipulative, deceptive element got involved. It caused a lot of confusion. It made things murky. And so there was a lot of defenses that were put up too. I think that you held in a lot of your emotions. It's like you had to kind of bite your tongue. I mean, I see that. You had to emotionally contain what you were feeling because it wasn't really a safe space for you to come out and out with what you were experiencing. But I do see this renewal energy here. And I think somebody's wanting to heal. They're wanting to have a communication with you. All right, give me some more details about this. It looks like things are on the upswing for you, though. You're in a strong position where you were really dealing with some challenging circumstances around your security. I feel like you're coming out of that. Finances are improving. You're in a more stable place. I think you got things stabilized. I think they were rocked for a while, but you're starting to feel more in your element. All right. There's a lot of spiritual growth here too. Okay. I think you're feeling much stronger than you were before. Yeah, it's beautiful. Look at that. You're about to enter a real successful cycle. So there is something that you brought to a close. Something has come to an end and a new world begins. You know, there's success on the other side of what came to a close. I mean, you definitely were in the mix of this. You could have been dealing with a Capricorn, a Taurus, an Aquarius, or a Scorpio in this situation. This could have also been in relation to your finances, your business aspirations. Okay, I do feel like where you felt a little held back in your work, you're experiencing a revival too. Okay, so it's an interesting dynamic here. Because I feel like you dealt with this situation. It feels personal, but it feels like it also really affected like your security, your home, your finances, your just general standing as well. All right. But you're getting to the other side of this. And it looks like there's some kind of key communication coming in a relationship where both parties experience some kind of injury in this situation. It looks like this connection could be revived. Okay, there could be a way to turn it around. Really positive energy. I see there's been a lot of transformation here, but I'm looking at what you went through, and this was brutal. This was brutal. At some times, it may have felt like even just coming unraveled. There's so much confusion here. There could have been somebody in this situation that really was having almost like a mental breakdown. I mean, I can see that energy here too. Something became really confusing, disillusioning. It was pretty intense. Somebody may have had to go through a real deep healing process after this. It could be somebody you were connected to. All right. And now maybe the connection can be mended. Somebody may have been off in la la land, or maybe they were struggling with some kind of addiction or something too that just had them totally out of touch with reality. And now they're on the other side of that and they're ready to kind of like iron things out with you. You look like you're in a really good place. I mean, I see that. You're in a really good place. And I think when this comes towards you, you might be a little reticent, you know, about letting it in. I feel like you're kind of protecting yourself a little bit initially. Let me see any other details about this. Any other details about this for Leo? Will Leo open up to this? How's this going to play out for Leo? And then one more round and then I'll cut the deck and we'll get kind of a focus card. I think you can sort things out. Actually, you got the Six of Swords coming out as alchemized. If there was a child involved in this situation, or maybe the young parts of you were really activated, or maybe you go way back with this person, I do feel like there's a way for you all to kind of like sort things out, work things out, heal. It does look like there's going to be communication here. To me, it feels like it's healing communication. It feels productive. And if there was a child involved in this situation, I feel like everything is being worked out in the best interest of the child too. So it looks like you're moving away from a really difficult time here and things are getting stabilized. This looks positive. Do a cut of the deck here. Yeah, I mean, I think there is somebody in the mix of this situation, though. It's coming in with the King of Pentacles in the shadow. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay. That could have been part of the problem in this situation. You know? Yeah, somebody really was working a situation to their advantage. Somebody wanted to be the victor here, right? And it could even be on a business level. Like this could be a business competitor that could have caused some problems for you. It could have held you back in your work a little bit here. Or somebody who was kind of working a situation where it was holding something up for you that was supposed to materialize, like some kind of tangible support that was supposed to come in. And in cases where somebody was, you know, doing some work here, okay, I do feel like the work they were doing or the way they were manipulating was to try to cause some kind of instability. Whoever this person was that was creating issues for you, this person's highly competitive. Highly competitive. But you transmuted this. So it looks like you're going to start getting traction now, which is really good. You're going to start seeing returns on your investment. Your finances are improving. You got a new sense of stability. I feel like you really transformed this energy. But there was a King of Pentacles here that was causing you some problems for sure. Very competitive. And almost like punishing through withholding some kind of security, some kind of assets, something that you should have received here. But I feel like it is being restored. So this looks good. All right. Yeah, there you go on the other side. And it was 22:22 on the clock. So the balance of power is coming on through here. And you're getting what you should have received a long time ago. It looks like a new beginning here. It looks like some kind of opportunity. Some kind of assets are being freed up. And it's coming through pretty soon because that's a spring timing card. So I don't think you're going to have to wait on this much longer. Let me get an overarching theme for you in relation to this. Anything else you want to bring through for Leo in relation to this? Yeah, it looks like there was an earth sign in the mix. Or somebody who was really messing with your material stability here that was problematic. Strong earth around it though, because we got for court card indications, it's all coming out earth. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. All right. With that world coming out, strong Taurus, strong Capricorn. All right. Could have been flies in the ointment. Also, it could have been something that was affecting your image, affecting your public reputation, and that could have cut off opportunities for you. And yeah, really hitting your financial house, I feel. You know, there's something that was threatening your security. You might have pulled out of an arrangement because you recognized you weren't receiving what you deserved, you know. It wasn't worth your time. It wasn't worth your energy. There wasn't the compensation for what you were delivering. And now this is being rectified. It was an injustice and something's being made right. So I like this for you, Leo. This is good. Okay. Oh, and it's coming out in reverse. Isn't this interesting? Stillness, a little of that 8th house activity, okay? A little of that territory of Scorpio here. I feel like for a while, something was really cloaked, something was hidden, but the facade has cracked and now you're getting things moving. I think things were held up for a long time. Yeah, it looks like it was really coming in around your work. And there could have been a Scorpio or a Capricorn connection related to this. It could have been some spiritual work involved too. I mean, somebody could have been trying to create delays, holdups. They could have been doing that through other kinds of manipulation as well, not just spiritual work, but just with a lot of the indications that came on the board, I could see if you're already in some kind of metaphysical field, or if you run in those circles and you suspected somebody was doing some work, I don't think you're wrong about that. You could have had a little competitive energy heading your way. Somebody wanted to try to hold you up, but I feel like where things were at a place of gridlock, somebody's being unmasked here. It's like that moment when you're discovering who was causing the problems. They're being outed here. And it's actually moving things forward for you. So there could be some exposure of this person who is doing shady stuff. I love it. And look at that. Your energy coming in with the sun and wealth. So there's blessings coming in here for you. Look for communication coming in with the energy of Mercury and Jupiter. So there could be a Sagittarius in the mix. There could be Pisces in the mix. Also has Jupiter as a ruler. We did have Pisces come out with the moon in the shadow. We also have Gemini, Virgo coming in here too with Mercury, all right? So strong Virgo energy. Also the house of Virgo relates to your work, also communications sector, okay? So something's being transformed here, and where you were dealing with some harsh circumstances and you felt like, when is it going to be my time? When do I get my success? When do I get my traction, you know? When do I get my moment in the sun? Well, get ready for it, because it looks like it's coming in for you and you got wealth on the horizon. But I also feel like there's a wealth of experience here, and there's a lot you've learned through the process, and this is good. Really positive energy. Good for you, Leo. Godspeed.